Dear descendants, in this video, we're going to take a little walk, but not just any walk. We're going to walk the path of our ancestors. You're going to learn a little bit about what it means to capture the essence of your African spirituality. You're going to learn the many ways our ancestors fought to protect us from enslavement and from being captured. You're also going to learn the ways we protect ourselves through rituals by connecting nature and the spirituality of our ancestors. We're going to go to a river where many of our ancestors took their last bath. It's a very spiritual journey. And one thing I want you to pay particular interest to is the sights and sounds after we go through the door. You're going to see a door. We're going to knock. We're going to ask permission. We're going to see a picture of two men with their hands up in shackles. Once we get through that door, I want you to really focus your senses on the sound. I want you to really listen and try to feel the vibration of the steps of our ancestors. But also I want you to listen. I want you to tell me what you hear, because I know what I hear. But I want you to tell me what you hear. There's a lot of interesting things in this video. It's kind of a long video, but this is what we did to protect ourselves from various threats around the world. This is what we do. This is what we were before colonialism, before the transatlantic slave trade. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you learn something. And I hope you take back that which was lost. See you on the other side.
Please, I don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I want to show you some herbs.
I'm not gonna bite.
I'm going to show you some herbs.
Okay. They are just friends. Okay. Yes. There's one thing that I wanted you to know. There's one thing I wanted you to know. I wish I had all the time so that you could go through many things. But your coming here, it's not because it's not another day of seeing another country. Your coming here is not just because you've made some money to come in here. Your coming here is already destined, because your coming here is the day that you have to connect with your source, with yourself, with your ancestors, and the spirit that makes you. So whenever you come in here, we try to connect all those spiritualities to whatever you do, so that when you go back, you should go as a change and a better person. So I'll try to factor in certain things, but we have to do it quickly so that at least we'll get all of it together. Now this is during the era of the trade. Some of us engage in the trade. Majority of us also were against the trade. Those that were against the trade, they formed a group, and their job was to fight in order to get their people back. But they weren't having the ammunitions as compared to that of the raiders. So they were equally targeted, killed, and killed. So to avoid them from being captured, they started mapping up strategies in order to save themselves, their families, and their communities. So when you go to Gulu and Nasiriwegu in the northern part of Ghana, people built defense walls around their communities with the tiny walls all around it, and have got mapping up security all around those walls, all in the name of preventing intruders from getting to the communities. Another group moved to the mountainous areas, like the Kwawus, the Kopons, the Kriapims, and the rest, so that when they see the raiders in the valley, they roll stones at them so that they don't get to them. Another group were in the caves. But those that were in the caves, it was really getting really difficult for them to come out, because they might not know who is around the cave waiting for them. So those that were in the caves resorted into the planting of the mimosa plant. at a strategically placed positions around the cave. So the mimosa plant tells them whether it is safer to come out today or not. So when the time is set for them to come out, this is what they have to see for themselves. Please come closer. As open as the mimosa plant is, then they know it's a day that we have to come out and work. But also, please come closer. Come to me. Yes. I want you to just touch it and let's observe it together.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Take your hand on. Yeah. What do you see?
Oh, a shrine. So somebody walks through.
Close it up.
Yeah. It's like a Venus flytrap.
Close it up.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Well, you can do it too.
You can please come closer. You can have a feel of it. And it's also a spiritual plant that we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, look at that. Did you see it? Hold on.
So whenever they wanted to come out,
That's
and it's like this.
what she said.
Zoom in
Venus
like this.
flytrap. Oh, look.
It's like this all over. Then they knew there has been a movement around.
Yeah.
It can even be a movement of an animal, but nobody will take any risks, so they don't come out. So this mimosa plant saved a lot of us. I have changed the name from mimosa to destiny plant because this plant in here is following us wherever we go as Africans. Everywhere in the Caribbean they have it. They call it shame old lady. Even some parts of the US of it, people have come from New York, Mississippi, Virginia, and other places, and they've also told me they've seen some of these plants. And I always ask them, do you think our ancestors are going to leave us without giving us traces of where we're coming from? So whenever you see this is the mimosa plant that saved a lot of us. Now, because this place was the biggest market, we were having the slave camp as well. Let's walk to the river. We were having the slave camp as well. So the slave camp was where our brothers and sisters were made to look attractive before selling them. Now, this particular land that you are walking is a slave land. It is a path that was designed by the feet of our ancestors. So most often at times, when we go into the ritual section of our tour, we never go through this path with our shoes off. With our shoes on. We always go through this path with our shoes off. But some people always ask me, Kofi, why do you go through this particular path with your shoes off? And I tell them, I didn't know who I was until I started working in here. I always believe that money is all about, when you have money, you are rich. Later did I know that being rich is not about money, it's about knowing yourself. I've had so much of encounters and so much of revelations. Our ancestors have revealed so much to me. The reason why we walk through this path with our shoes off is because, one, I always believe that we have never been good to our ancestors. We have never treated them right. Those people that laid their life for you and I to live, we are even made to believe that even mentioning their names are evil. We've left our ancestors out in the cold, and people are rather telling the white history of our own black people instead of us telling the black history of our own black people. Our children are left to go through the educational system and be taught about the white history of their black people. So we grow with this inferiority complex, thinking we don't have any ancestor worth celebrating. But our ancestors are still there for us. So we use this opportunity to tell them, we know we've offended you, but we are your children. We don't have any right to even come to you to accept our apology. But because we are your children, just give us the opportunity so that one more time we could walk on the same path that you did, so that we could correct our wrongs. The second reason why we go through this path with our shoes off is a covenant that you are here to fulfill. The land is yours. It's just because of circumstances. That is why we are not together. Today, destiny has brought you home. The land needs to know you. The spirit of endurance, the spirit of strength, the spirit of ritual connection and integration that our ancestors have to go through just for them to live. We, whilst walking on the same path that they did, we pray same for you to also have those endurance and those spirits. The third reason is an experience, so that when you are saying the story or the history, you could say it better. And the last one, we use that opportunity to thank all our ancestors
coming
in our lives. The reason being that somebody has been so good to you. Your ancestors shouldn't necessarily be back on earth when you are a true man. Maybe somebody has been so good to you. The person is no more. You never had the opportunity to say to that person, to thank him. So whilst going through that part, you can collect the names of those people and say to them, you thank them for their roles in your life. So outgoing is a moment of reflection and it's a moment of connection.
Shoes off.
Just say it and let it off. So that is why we go through that part with our shoes off. But as I said, it's not binding on what to do. But when your spirit tells you to do, you always allow to do. But for me, with my job, I always do it because I always do it.
What you're saying is not false.
Yeah, it is not. It is not. It is
If you
not.
don't want that, it's okay.
It is not binding. So don't be pressured to stop binding.
You know I take it off when I want to do stuff. You remember at the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
So sometimes when we do our group and we are going through this stage, some people resort to the ones that are very sensitive, but they don't want people to know they are sensitive. They try to make the big boy. Those people resort to singing. Whilst going through, they sing songs like, don't tell me to sing, my voice is bad. So they sing songs like, lift every voice and sing. My brothers from the Caribbean love singing by the rivers of Babylon. And my sisters from the US of A like to sing Wade in the Water. Wade in the water, children. So whilst we're going there, it's more about spiritual connection, just praying and saying to them, we thank them for their roles in our lives.
Aro. See, these spots are kind of cleared out. Oh wow, that thing is huge.
Yeah, it's a millipede.
You see it?
Millipede. Mm-hmm. I go.
So, because we don't have much time to go through with everything that we do here, stuff in terms of the spirituality of the site. Not until 1998, nobody was allowed to come in here. It was only the chiefs and the priests, because all the rituals in this community were performed in here.
In 1998?
Not until 1998, when the so when the 1998. So when the first manifest was launched, that is when people started coming in this place. But it was reserved as a sacred grounds. And I told you earlier that we, the Polish community, don't celebrate any other festival apart from the emancipation. So not even before the emancipation has not even that is what
already a festival
we are celebrating.
Yeah.
So when it's on the August, all the chiefs and the traditional elders come to this forest. Nobody comes with them. They sometimes spend almost 7 days in this forest going through cleansing and other things. So this forest have a lot of spiritual meaning to the community. When we have more time, the river is going a little bit higher. Like you could have seen traces of goats on the rock, because we always say that we are choosing spirituality instead of riches. So we try to reserve this particular place because of the spirit and the energy and the power that has given the community. So we just going through to the river, place we wanted to go. We're just going to go through some two of the rituals that we do here. And there is something that will be given to you, and we need to ask our ancestors for the strength, so that when you put on you, it should be very, very powerful as you want to. So, but before we go down there, that is when we all have to try to take our shoes off, just this distance.
To get to the river.
To get to the river. Then everything that I do, I'm going to explain everything to you, so that you understand that this is nothing, but it's something symbolic that we always have to go through. So, just
if you go to the river, you just take off your shoes.
And we have only 5 minutes to make this ritual.
Yeah.
And I was
just 5 minutes.
5 minutes. If you don't,
You know what I do?
No.
But bro, they can maybe around to
oh no, they can. You know, there's one thing about that I always say. For me, I always believe African is a movement. The reason being that our former president said it in the best possible way. He said, not because you are born in Africa that makes you an African. But when African is born in you. So you could have somebody who is as light skinned as you could think, but you could see that person of Africa breathing in you. And all those people, will bring them together to form the new African that you and I want to see. So let's get to the river. Just 5 minutes. On a normal day, we take almost 3 hours for this ritual.
Like banana leaves.
That's bamboo leaves.
Bamboo.
They don't clean it. No. Yeah,
That's good.
These things that come.
No, that's good. They feel good on the feet.
You see all these shiny spots on the wall? Yes. That is the process. When you see this, it's a lovely growth. Just dig. And but we can't, because of riches, we can't deplete the spirituality of ourselves.
And it will destroy the water too for people to drink.
So, this is what we're going to do. Most of the times, it's the same thing, but they take so long because they have more time. The concept is this. This river you are seeing have the blood of our ancestors running in it. It's also have the spirit of our ancestors because most of them died in this river. So we have our ancestors closer to us, listening to whatever we have for them. So what we do first is we come, we touch the river, and we thank them for their roles in our lives. We just thank them for everything that they've done for us. When you're done with that, the second ritual is you are coming from a new world, a world that has been that is full of anger, hatred, bitterness, racism, and discrimination. So when you come in here, you have to you have to cleanse yourself from the negativity and embrace the positivity. So the next ritual is the cleansing. That we wash 3 times, and you wash your feet 3 times. If you have more time, you wash your feet 3 times. You wash your feet 3 times. Then
What of your face too?
That is, some people, for the cleansing, you basically do it like baptism. We immerse you totally in it. But sometimes people don't have ever spare clothes, so we don't do it. So you wash, and you wash your face with it. And it's like, it's all. But people, they have more time, they immerse them in the river themselves. So first, thanksgiving. Second, you wash. Then the third, and this is what I'm going to leave you to do yourself. So, and the third ritual is when we believe that you've been washed from the negativity, and now you have embraced the new African spirit. So if you have embraced the new African spirit, then our ancestors need to reveal themselves to you, to speak to you, so that you can listen and also talk it back to people. So that is the third ritual that we do. That is why you touch something. I'm rushing because of the time. Now that you touch the water, you wash your eye, and you pray, and you tell them what you want to see. I don't know what you want to see. Ask your ancestors what you want to see. They should let you see. Likewise, I don't know what you want to hear. You tell them what you want to hear. Then, or you can do this with your lips. You tell them what you wanted to speak, and everything that you speak should be of wisdom, so that everybody everywhere will come listening to us. When you're done with this aspect, that is the last aspect is when I'm going to give you especially for you to put your wishes on it. So when you're done with your wishes, you put it on the river, for the river to carry your wishes to the one eternal person. So this is just the ritual that we do, and we're going to try as much as possible to just do this within 5 minutes because of your time. So everywhere, you can start with your ritual.
You want me to record you?
Sure. Yes. And then vice versa.
Yeah.
All right. No shots.
Should I do a video of you? Okay.
Oh, we can do it together. You want us to
Yeah.
do it together, and I'll hold it. Hold this part for you.
5 minutes.
Start with your left foot. Yeah, you can put your arm first.
Right, 3 times.
You can put your foot.
Cut my toe.
I got it.
if you want, you can worship that one is
Your mouth and your ear. Through your mouth and your ear.
I know you will never curse yourself. I know you're going to bless yourself. So whenever you're done with your wishes, you put the leaf on top of the beast. Okay. And when you put it on it, it's going to be your magic charm. And whenever you put that beast on, those wishes and aspirations will be remembered that you need to come to pass. So likewise, you say your wishes on it. I don't want to know what you're wishing for, wishing you have. So when you're done, you place it underneath so that all what you have wished should go into the beast. So that whenever you wear it, your wishes is what you are wearing. Because nothing about us says so. Whenever you read the Bible, read it as your story. It's never a religious book. Everything about us is written in the Bible. Our strength is in the Bible. Our spirituality. Our spirituality is in the Bible. And also our wisdom coming from the Bible. What differentiates us with them and what connects us with God is our hair. Our hair is wool and yes, it's silk. Every time that Jesus Christ has appeared in the Bible or God has appeared in the Bible, we always say he is having a white, its hair is as white as a wool. Because that is where we are coming from. We talk about our wisdom. We get our wisdom from King Solomon. King Solomon has all the wisdom that we are told. But who was King Solomon? Was he one of us? Or he was not? When you read Solomon chapter 5 verse 6, Solomon said something about himself. You know the description he gave? I have a black bushy hair with locks. Locks, because beards cannot lock. We talk about our strength. We add our strength on Samson. Samson was having what? 7 locks. We talk about our spirituality. Read Numbers chapter 6. Who is a Nazarene? Who is coming from Nazareth? And what trait should a Nazarene possess? Look yourself in the mirror while you do that. You realize that everything in there is you. So I wonder why people have portrait of Jesus Christ as a white person. I can't even, that is why I told you, I was part of them until I know who I was, how powerful I am. God never gave me melanin for nothing. You know why we have this melanin? So that we can stay anywhere in the world, because we are, so today that we are coming here, we are believing that wow! Akushika money. Akushika. Wow. Akushika is basically from my hand, because I'm also coming from where Ghana. Yes. So
big.
Akushita is like a treasure. Yes. So Akushita has been here. She has gone through the system. She has gone through the spirituality, and she never used any ordinary bees than our local bees. These bees symbolize our work, our strength, and also our passion. So as we are here, as we put this on you, it is our prayer that your wishes and all your aspirations to come true.
Right.
You has been also ordained.
Sorry, left. Put it on the left, sorry.
You have also been ordained as an ambassador in pushing African interest. And as you're going, for us, I don't need to tell you you are king or queens, because that is who we are. You are a queen in the making, and you are a king in the making. So never ever see yourself as inferior to anybody on this earth. You should always walk with your chest high, because that is who we are. It is my prayer that may our ancestors continue to bless you, continue to enlighten you, and continue to strengthen you in all that you do. The battle has just begun, but we know with our inner strength, we know with our inner peace, victory would always be ours. We thank our ancestors and we thank them for everything that they've done.
Ashin.
Whenever you go to Ghana, you make sure you buy yourself a bottle of rum and gin.
So what
And
is
it's going to
Naira
give
Mojo?
you the summary, the prayer summary of you coming in here. And it's going to be very beautiful. So, we are out of time. This thing, we took almost 3 hours in doing it. It's a long time.